What if the food you eat every day could meaningfully change how Parkinson's disease feels, affecting stiffness, medication effectiveness, and energy levels? This isn't about a cure, and results don't appear overnight, but the science behind it is real and growing. One of the most significant shifts in Parkinson's research is the recognition that this condition is no longer viewed purely as a brain disorder. Scientists now understand it as a complex, whole-body condition involving the gut, immune system, metabolism, inflammation, and how nutrients are processed at the cellular level. Remarkably, for many individuals, changes in digestion and the gut microbiome appear years before any motor symptoms emerge. This discovery has fundamentally reshaped how researchers approach diet in the context of Parkinson's. Large population studies now consistently demonstrate that overall dietary patterns matter far more than any single so-called superfood. It's a sustained, consistent way a person eats, their overall pattern, that delivers the greatest benefit, not occasional consumption of one trending ingredient. Diet high in ultra-processed foods, refined sugar, and fried items are consistently linked to worse motor symptoms, greater fatigue, constipation, and faster disease progression. On the other hand, people who follow whole food, anti-inflammatory eating patterns tend to experience better symptom control, improved medication response, and a higher overall quality of life. So, which specific dietary approaches does the latest science support heading into 2026? The Mediterranean-style diet remains a strong foundation, emphasizing vegetables, fish, olive oil, and nuts to reduce chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. Two major drivers of neuronal damage. The MIND diet, a hybrid of Mediterranean and DASH principles, may help preserve dopamine signaling by supporting blood flow to vulnerable brain regions. More recently, the Pro-21 diet, which strictly limits ultra-processed foods and centers on whole plants and fermented foods, has been associated with slower functional decline. Beyond general dietary patterns, newer research draws attention to specific food groups. A wide variety of vegetables and fruits, different colors and types, such as leafy greens, berries, and citrus, deliver diverse polyphenol that nourish different strains of beneficial gut bacteria. Nuts and seeds, including walnuts, flaxseed, and chia, are rich in healthy fats that may help regulate neuroinflammation and support mitochondrial function in brain cells. Consistency is especially important with fish. Regular consumption of fatty fish 2 to 3 times per week appears more beneficial than taking supplements sporadically. Legumes and whole grains help stabilize blood sugar, reducing inflammatory spikes, and supporting more consistent medication performance, which may minimize daily fatigue and unpredictable off periods. One underappreciated factor in symptom management is protein timing, particularly in relation to levodopa. Research indicates that for some people with Parkinson's, consuming large amount of protein too close to a levodopa dose can reduce how well the medication is absorbed. Many clinicians now recommend distributing protein more evenly across meals throughout the day, or shifting higher protein foods to the evening, though individual medical guidance is always essential. Hydration is another often overlooked tool. Inadequate fluid intake can worsen constipation, increase dizziness, and amplify medication side effects, all which can interfere with how drugs are absorbed and how the body functions day to day. Ultra-processed foods carry multiple negative effects. They disrupt the gut microbiome and weaken the intestinal barrier, which may allow inflammatory compounds to enter the bloodstream and potentially affect the brain. Processed meats and excessive saturated fats are linked to higher oxidative stress and may compromise cardiovascular health, indirectly reducing the brain's resilience over time. Regarding ketogenic or very low carbohydrate diets, the evidence remains mixed and caution is warranted. These restrictive approaches can increase the risk of constipation, nutrient deficiencies, and unintended weight loss, all of which are already common concerns in Parkinson's. They should only be considered under close medical supervision. Two areas are drawing growing attention in 2026. The first is time-restricted eating, limiting food intake to a consistent daily window. Early studies suggest this approach may improve metabolic health, reduce inflammation, and support gut repair. Neurologists are actively monitoring this research. The second emerging topic is postbiotics, beneficial compounds produced by gut bacteria, which some evidence suggests may have direct anti-inflammatory effects relevant to neurological health. Both areas are still developing, but they represent promising directions in the field. How does diet actually help in daily life? Good nutrition functions as ongoing biological support. It can improve digestion, reduce constipation, stabilize energy throughout the day, and enhance medication absorption. It also lowers systemic inflammation and helps preserve muscle strength and mobility over time. Think of it as quiet, consistent reinforcement, not a dramatic intervention, but a meaningful one. The conclusion is straightforward. Diet is not a cure, but the strongest available evidence suggests it can help people feel better and function longer. Eat mostly whole foods. Prioritize plants. Choose healthy fats, fatty fish, nuts, seeds, legumes, and fiber-rich options. Be mindful of protein timing around medication. Limit ultra-processed foods and excess sugar. And stay well hydrated. Small, consistent changes made over time genuinely add up to something significant.